Fox, and welcome back to Haven Hearth. And since there's gonna be a world reset pretty soon, I'm just gonna show off what I've going here for the last few months. This is my main up here, and this is what I used to record with, which the reason I sort of stopped was some things popped up and took a break, and well, everything's pretty much leveled. So yeah, I basically start over anyway. The road reset is a good excuse to have a fresh start. Is there anything left in here? Oh look, a rabbit fur. Some squirrel hide side. Yeah, my claim basically doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. I'm surprised my heights are still there. Anyway, there was a house here. Paint tub's about completely decayed. Just a few tree seeds. My snails are still there. Another seed. I can chop. Open. See if there's anything left of what I had in here. Oh, tea leaves are still here. This cave never discovered. Right, it's still on its own. Huh. I'm expecting like that mess over this corner being going through this. Especially since it's been months since I checked in on this character. Well, anyway, that's what the remains of this guy's fort, or was the start of it, rather. Why am I playing the kid? Never get it established, so. I remember what I was doing. Anyway, that's this guy. Options. I'll go. This is my main dude. I've been playing around with him ever since the world started. Whoops. Hadn't really checked in on my livestock in a while either. Maybe because the world is getting reset. And I was distracted by things like finding out my sister is expecting, all that jazz. I'm just gonna take care of this hide. Okay, that much of a point. Anyway, those were alive. They just recently croaked. My chickens are very overpopulated. Like I had a system going here. I think these are my highest 2 quality I had, and just took the eggs that weren't above like 18. These are 21, so was once. I was hoping to be another breeding pair. And these stockpiles that keep getting stuck on were different things. Actually, I'm just gonna get rid of these real quick. Yep, empty. I had some rabbits. I was pretty vigilant about at least keeping them alive. Man, rabbit hutch is hard to start, especially if you're a low-level character. Had some pipeweed too. Kind of left over from whenever I had actual field of it. Which I was using as a emergency fodder before I had pumpkins. I have fire spit. This row of flask here was so I could start making rope regularly. Yeah, so I had my little. This is basically my crafting area on this side of my house. Had my leather here. Fresh hides. Furs. Rope pile. Fish pile. And over here is my kennel. Has some jerky and barley sprouts and wheat. That roasts the wheat. And I had a smoker for whenever I would thin out the rabbits and chickens. And of course my oven for pie. And all this lumber came from having to level and clear this area. So I got a little slap happy with the stockpiles. Start table for my peppercorns. Over here was basically where I would skin everything. Stockpiles of innards. And you see my drying racks here. This is my food table, which is surprisingly full. Again, I had some things pop up out of the blue. Meat pie, fish pie. Yeah, basically I had a system of using barley and wheat for the oven load. These are my smoked rabbits. Just gonna eat them real quick. Very good perception. Oops, broke some too. Yeah, this was my main character. Agility, Constitution, Perception, Will. Alright, that was this guy's last feast. And in here, oh yeah, I had some decorations. This is a fishy eyeball. And I think that's a lucky rabbit foot. I'm just gonna pick up my bed. I really got a proper one. Some odd reason. Yeah, lucky rabbit foot. And a petrified seashell. I think this might be a boar's tusk I was decorating with. That I found. It's not very much of a hunter. These are squirrel tails to make 9 tails out of. I found this chest just randomly out and about. I think it was a abandoned claim or something. I had some of my tools in. And in this cabinet was a lot of miscellaneous things. I had my stock of cigars here. I was working on making cigar boxes because there's a. See, I'll pull up my map here. No, not in here. I'll show you when I get out. Anyway, there's a swamp way, way, way to the north. I was going to make candleberry runs to. And this one was kind of a glorified tackle box. Along with furs and dreams. This was going to be the fishing line. All these random seeds. I was going to. I had in my mind I was going to get around to actually getting good at planting trees, but poppy pods, important things like that in here. Actually, this is just the poppy pods. Everything else is pretty moot. Here's where I was growing things out of my garden pots. Oh, speaking of rabbits, I think I was about to load up the smoker because that wasn't the first time I had to start fresh with rabbits. But luckily I had 2 left. This would have been the second time I had to me. First time I had to start from scratch, but yeah. Life happens. And outside my curiosities in here. This is the last bit of my pipeweed. Oh, random bug collection. I don't know if you can see what was in here. For 5 different bugs. Yeah. I love everything in there. And my loom. That's my humble abode. Got my dugout, my stockpiles of crops. There's a tree in the middle of my farm that wasn't there before. Like I said, it's been a while. Yeah, it's growing hemp and poppy on this row, wheat and barley, pumpkins for the rabbit hutch and chickens. I think this first one was pepper and this one's hops. I was working on another row of trellises for peas and cucumbers. And as far as stockpiles go, I had leeks, carrots, and what's that over there? Hops. And my granary here with my barley, wheat, poppy, hemp flask, pipeweed, grape, and pumpkin in it. This stock barrel of feathers came from a long time ago. I just was too lazy to move. Turnips. The peas I was working on. And yellow onions. I think these were poppy flowers. Yeah. Oh yeah, those are the stockpiles I was going to show you. I tend to go by the method of the madness of these things. Seeing nettle, tomato. Water, my barrel, which is decaying for some reason. Oh, whoops, apparently. Sat down on the wrong side of my claim. Clover. What was this one? Dandelions. Oh, I remember now. It was right before winter when I made those. I was just kind of making stockpiles of things. Over here was my egg jar. But yeah, basically my little crafting area. Whoops. My ultimate goal was to make a mine shaft, but distractions. I have something interesting about my neighbor. These guys were active once upon a time, and that used to be a whole pentagram right there. And funny story, I thought it was abandoned because the gates were decayed and everything, and turns out they took note of what I was kind of rummaging through and locked me out. But looks like it's like permanently abandoned now, since the pentagram itself is decaying. I love exploring ruins. Like I remember running across one video, the guy describing it perfectly as actual ruins, like a civilization that you might have found in real life, rather than just like, oh, here's a dungeon or totally ruins, you know, kind of thing. That gives you that little extra knowing that real people built that. This used to be a big claim that's right next door to me, right where I settled down. I think it was a village that was still on a hype train for the start of this world. Because they came and left, and thankfully left me alone. I was still kind of, I didn't even have a house up or anything at the time. Looks like they made some mountains. You can see where it's still leveled. And that's their logging pile that I've been kind of picking at. Yeah, they completely abandoned it. I basically scavenged what I could from here, but either they moved everything important, or it had already decayed by the time I got around to it. Like for example, this little plot right here. Is there still stuff on this? Looks like they had a farm at one point in time. Yeah, that's where I got my start on my peppercorns. Can't exactly remember how big this claim was. The trees, everything else took over. I could tell at one point in time they had a good group of people going. There were 2 hearth fires, but I assume those are probably the leaders. They just kind of kept them there. Everybody else went their separate ways. Don't have a name or anything. I didn't even see them. Somewhere around here is a grave, though. I just wonder what its story is. Oh, that's still there. That little piece of stone. Because these used to be full-on foundations for houses and storage. Every once in a while I find a mandrake here. It likes pee-pee. Quite the name. An honorable name. With his brother Poo-Poo. Would be surprised if that really was those 2 hearth fires' names, Pee-Pee and Poo-Poo. Oh, and over at the Pentagram settlement, one of the dwellers made this awesome wall art of a bearded man. It said something about more bushes or something like that. I wish I would have had a screen capture of or something. Pretty sure it's long gone by now. It might be still there. If they're that committed, they know about the road reset, so they won't mind a random hermit coming through. Pretty sure it's been abandoned for a good long time, but like I said, apparently they took note of me scavenging, so I left them alone for a while. Oh, speaking of mandrakes, that's where PP's buried. No, the grave's way over here. Is there another one? I never knew this whole time. Yeah, that way there's a big radius of their spawn. Might as well plug this. Just a humble mandrake, which is almost completely useless. Useless to a low-level player. But their function is to make, can't remember what they're officially called, but phantoms to avenge crimes committed against Earthlings. This is where one of the main houses was, up on the mound. Am I going right? Yeah, I'm going the right way. So glad they added this arrow to see where you're actually going. Especially when you're along treks on water. Yeah, I think I was a member of Village during the start of World 11. I want to say, yeah, 11. Because what got me started recording Haven of Hearth was this world, the reset that started this world, and I kind of showed off my claim, just to see what happened. And miraculously, people actually was curious enough to see what I had, so I took the idea and ran with it. That's how I made my other character, who unfortunately got ignored too long and got completely leveled. Oops. Might be more committed to this world to actually post. Everything's been eerily quiet on my channel, so anybody's voices will be heard. There's been a few comments here and there. Actually, I had somebody help me with my audio issue. Thank God. So hopefully I'm clear as a bell. Rusty bell, but a bell. Looks like their claim is still active. See, that wasn't even active last time. Well, that was first here. Or is it just red? Sometimes there's a gray area between abandoned and not claimed. Got through this little area. Yeah, that's still active. Like I said, I think I woke them up when I rummaged through their things. That's probably the guy that made that wall art. I'm pretty sure that house was around their farm. I'm 100% sure what that is. I had to look it up. Oh. That's completely decayed now. I think this is what I'm thinking of. They used to have like a little market, but they was trying to get going at one point in time. And it was already abandoned. That's how I discovered the gate was broke. See the control? Oh. Control, okay. Oh no, this is something completely different. Where is it? Where am I? Yeah, this is just... I think at one point it was bigger, and probably the founder just kind of stuck around. I think over here, where you could barely see a cross section, in that tan area, was where their market was. Looked like they were pretty ambitious, and they weren't like Hermit Slayers, so that was a relief for me. Especially as small as that like thing is. Like I didn't even bother with fences or anything, so anybody could just waltz in there if they were feeling like a dick. That looked like he had quite the farm going. Or she. I don't know. As far as boat travel goes, this is about as fancy as I got. Didn't really have a need for a Gnar or anything like that. Let's see, where was that? Oh, yeah, that's their actual name. I'm not sure if that was still going to pop up or not. What in here? There's another divot. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that. But yeah, if that looks familiar to you, buddy, or you're a part of this village, I was your neighbor. Okay, there's where the pentagram was. Which I'm a fan of Doom and stuff like that, so that gets a thumbs up from me. Yeah, this is where it was at. They had stands and everything over here. Fascinating and clean. Yeah, they had like little signs and everything. This part was open, like I can tell they were trying to get an open market going. There's what random means of their pentagram. These trusses over here must have been new. I don't remember them being that close to the pentagram. Oh, there's a grave here. Super Stuka. Ah, there's flowers on it too. Must have been an honorable guy. Looks like they had a forge here. I'm not gonna get too deep into their things. I'm not gonna bother with that. Even out of curiosity, like literally within a week. Oh, this would be nothing. Which I'm excited for, honestly. I can see where a lot of people were like, well, shit, there was all that cheese I worked so hard on, and stuff like that. But at the same time, a fresh start is, no pun intended, refreshing. This gives people more opportunities that, you know, big claims hadn't already took up. And it kind of reignites the spark within the community on those that aren't pissed off about their cheese. Mind you, it's kind of not all out like, oh, how can you do this to me? Like, well, there goes the farm, you know, kind of attitude. What is this? Never seen it before. It's a link or something. I'll actually just take a picture of it. Since it'll be permanently gone. Now let's see what. There's my camera. That's another thing I love about this game, is just finding stuff like this. I don't know if that's like somebody's way of advertising a client or something like that. Oh, speaking of comments and stuff like that, somebody did recommend a client to me, and it actually worked, and I could actually see it. So my big problem with clients have been in the past is, for some odd reason, I guess because my computer screen is almost too good, quote unquote. It's itsy bitsy to see, and some things just don't work. Like some games I notice have the same problem. Right, just go find a spot to park this and poof back to base. I think it was an ARD client that person recommended, which I've heard very good things about, how it combines other well-known clients. And another thing about mean clients is it's basically kind of like the debate over whether or not to play a game modded. Because basically that's what a client is basically a mod. And even though a lot of them are quality of life improvements, I just, you know, good old vanilla. You know, the way I do things ain't really broke, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to fix it. And bots, in my personal opinion, are just cheating. Oh yeah, speaking of random things you find. So as you can tell by my enormous pile of entrails, I've been doing a lot of fishing these last few months. And the fun thing about fishing is sometimes you catch random junk, like notes. This fine piece of poet has written. See, it reads, "Here I sit, broken-hearted, came to shit, but only farted." Quite the poet. And this one I don't. Market is. Oh yeah, this is what I found on their actual board over there in that market. I've shown you. Marketers are in experimental mode. Have any ideas or complaints? That was their Hearst secret, but I'm pretty sure that was somebody's old character, Because when I did that, it was last online like months ago. Let's see. Switch my decorations. But yeah, this is basically the character that I've been kind of legitimately playing with, and that is a main reason why I separated the two characters. Was mainly because I'm too lazy to hide the map, and I know somebody's gonna be cheeky enough to be like, "Ha! I have this map all laid out and everything," like those crazy people with the string and connecting people's claims and whatnot. And they're gonna snuff out this guy, and you know, better safe than sorry. Oh, something else interesting. There's this cave over here I was hoping to find metal in. Because, this is actually the chunk I actually started mining. Can't remember exactly what was there. It was just a fancy rock. And way over here was somebody else's mine. I ate mushrooms. And now I discover stealth gooms. Stop. That word. As you saw by my little notification of the discovery, that's the first time I actually ran across those. I've been trying to up my strength enough to actually do something in here. Speaking of upping strength and whatnot, I'm not strong enough to take on those bats. There goes a moth. Another moth. I forgot how big this cave was. I'm just gonna show you on the map. But yeah, as you can see where I actually came up here, there was a mine system over this corner. The way up here was a bigger mine system that connected two caves actually. So I could tell there's something worth mining out, but we small muscles cannot chip away at. Before I aggro those bats by accident. Speaking of these small puny muscles, here's my stat sheet. These are the things I actually put points into. No wait, these are the things for my foods. My strength was kind of getting there. Jody has a nice one, so 27 technically. Intelligence was doing pretty good from the fish I was catching. Constitution, not bad for all the meats I've been eating in general. Perception, pretty good. And look at that charisma. Dexterity, will, psyche. I didn't break 100 or anything epic like that, but you know, I just gotta play the game. Didn't really focus on anything. Here's the stats I actually put learning points in, and just kind of added extra learning points, rounded out everything to 10. Focused more on like perception, not perception, what am I thinking of? Exploration for this, so I can actually forge good things. Put a little bit into combat stats, just so I don't completely get mauled over by a boar. And, yeah, not much to look at, but they're there. These are what I was kind of focused on. It's kind of like a first on my front burners was my actual skills. That all but the, I won't say in-game, quote unquote, but just basically the skill caps. For example, Deep Artifice requires 110,046 46700. No, that's what I had. 150,000 is what it required. Or wait. Anyway, excuse my poor judgment of which way things go, but yeah, I was working on like mainly Druid right because that is well worth it in my opinion. Deep Artifice, yeah, if you really want to go all out for metal and things like that, go for it. Of course, there's Lawspeaker for anybody who wants to found a village. Rage in case push comes to shove, which I never had a reason for, because that's expensive just to start. Then you have other things to put into it. Trespassing, same thing. Like if you really want to, it's there, but it's more for lines of like I said, people who feel like being a dick. And that's basically sums up everything I had going in World 12. Oh yeah, my duds here. I had a laddie cap gilded with a forger's brooch. A little shirt gilded with a feather trinket, which I found at that Banned Claim I was telling you about. The one that's across, that's really close to me, not the pentagram one. Foreman gloves, a sling to hunt with, beast string to up my strength, little pants go with a feather trinket, which I also found over there. A linen shirt that I made myself, with a gilding leaf that upped my perception, quilted wadding, and a forger's brooch on it. Poor man's belt was just so I could store my tools. Of course, a stone axe. This beast string has my tiny smooth dust jewel in it, which was really nice. What did that do exactly, though? I think it upped my agility? No, that's... So 2-1... 3-1. Okay, up my strength. That's what it did. So that was good. Managed to make myself a leather backpack. Linen pants with quilted wadding and forger's brooch. And my fur boots with my forger's brooch on it. And in my poor man's belt, I had my saw, shovel, fishing pole, which I have a primitive casting pole or something like that, which is good if you're looking for a very specific fish, because you then craft specific lures for. But other than that, I just throw on some guts on into my primitive rod and see what I caught. Yeah, my inventory's just this and that. Let's see if I missed anything worth showing off. But this world's been fun. I had a lot of fun with my main character here and attempting to do something for to actually record with without worrying about somebody just completely mowing over my hard work. But I've been pleasantly surprised about my neighbors with this guy, because both of them was pretty damn big claims and I was just a wee hermit. But no, I didn't really poke the bear or anything, so the bear didn't have any reason to come on over. And I look forward to World 13 and hopefully I'll see you guys there. And I don't really say it because I'm not really those like, hey, what's up, gamers? Sub and subscribe for more content, but I really, really appreciate it. I've been doing this for quite a while and just now got to the point where people can actually hear me. So hopefully I'm doing something right. Or I'm not and you'll be informed about it. There's another thingy over here. What are these? That's new, because I've been picking those mushrooms for a while, and there's other picking. There's a Wolverine about to kick my ass. Very restroot. I think that's what that was. Yeah, restroot. Which, well, I will say, before I wrap things up, let's see, crafting, is it alchemy? No, alchemy's alchemical tools, close equipment. My brain is having a derp. My brain, why do not work sometimes? What was it underneath? It is underneath alchemy. No, wait. There it is. Medicine and first aid. Nope, wait. Oh, Steam Poultice is worth mentioning. Seed nettles and string and hide. Very good early game healing item. For minor stuff. Like, anything that's a fell slash and above, it won't treat. Toad butter, I think, is even a lesser version of the healing item. Never really got wool or anything. Extra, no, that's just alchemy stuff. I was trying to find the recipe for restroot extract, which is very handy for early game. That could just pop up here. What would it be underneath? I'm on a mission now. Food? No. Is there like meats and such? God, about it. If I could actually remember what's underneath, go a lot faster. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. One root extract and a little bit of water is how you find metal. It's basically kind of like metal detecting. So, starting off, if you really want metal, you're going to want to up your perception and exploration enough to actually find rust root and make rust root extract. And I don't really have an example, but like a very cheap example would be to make a dowsing rod. And basically you have this radius of red with a different shade of red that is wedged out of it, and that's basically pointing you to where metal potentially is, or in general. Not guaranteed to be like metal, but worth knowing. Another thing worth mentioning is basically all you're going to catch first off is squirrels, and rabbits if you get your agility high enough. But for anybody new to this game, don't even fuck with gnats. Like, well, ants especially a pain in the ass because they have armor penetration. Because you know it's a tiny little ant; it's gonna squeeze through every nook and crevice. So really, you're more likely to kill a bat first. But even then, that's a feat all on its own. But basically, up your strength and punch a lot. and certain things like well, let me show you here underneath combat. These are your combat moves, like chin up and combat meditation would buff your initiation. And I don't know how well you can see it, but for example, left hook, there's a blue in this corner, and punch is a green in the corner. Those are offensive moves. So, especially like rock, paper, scissors against the enemy, between colors. And for anything else, the wiki is updated. And just the forums in general. Yeah, this was my Row 12 character. I'm just sitting here kind of realizing that at one point in time, as small as this may be, you know, these last few months been just doing whatever, and exploring whatever the people has done in the past. Like I said, the whole runes idea. Running through my head if I missed anything that I'm forgetting before this is permanently gone, and I don't have this video to look back on. But hopefully, I know it's not what you call impressive, but it's something. One last look at my farmhouse, I guess you'd call it officially. This is actually my second base I have on this channel, so you can check out my World 11 base too if you so wish. This is actually technically bigger. I had two houses. I just realized that. Huh. Anyway, see you guys in Road 13.